It's the 250 million rand show here on Third Degree. Now, countrywide violent service delivery protests erupted last year. Communities took to the streets demanding water, electricity, sanitation and basic housing. 250 million rand was spent upgrading Nkandla. How would these communities benefit from that cash? In 2009, we came across Thelma Vanda in Thokoza, east of Joburg. She lived here with her daughter and 2 grandsons.
The house without windows, the windows are those holes. Look, there are cupboards here.
Their outside toilet was a foul-smelling, disease-ridden hole.
We use buckets. This is the kitchen, this is the dining room, this is the bathroom, this shack, this is the bedroom. This is everything. This is only for us. If our stomachs are constipated, we use bucket inside this room with food.
It was all getting too much to bear. She feels as if her and her children have done something wrong.
I feel like dying, my son, but I don't know who's going to help those children because they've done wrong to God. I feel like do everything. I don't know what to do. I pray every day. Why God, even now, before you arrive, I pray that why don't you take me with my children?
A Good Samaritan eventually built Thelma a house after the Third Degree broadcast. But millions aren't so lucky. People who've been on waiting lists since government promised free homes in 1994 when South Africans took to the polls to vote. But almost 19 years on, many still wait. So how many RDP houses could 250 million rand build? We spoke to a housing official in Limpopo. He told us that one RDP house with a toilet costs 54,000 rand. So 250 million rand would pay for 4,630 RDP homes. As for toilets, in many parts of our country, people live in squalor, crushed together in their tens of thousands. But what makes it particularly bad is not having proper toilets, as residents of Makaza and Khayelitsha discovered. In 2008, after much negotiation, it was agreed that the city would provide 1 toilet per plot, although this was above national housing standards. Residents would enclose them themselves. But discontent brewed.
My feeling was bad because I have a child. Now the toilet is open, they leave it open just like that. When I go to the toilet, I have to cover with a blanket. And the child also.
Many residents built walls. Others couldn't afford it. And by January 2010, 55 out of 1,316 toilets remained unenclosed. And that's when things got heated. With the toilets rapidly becoming a PR disaster for the city, officials went to investigate. On March the 19th, they sent out teams to build zinc walls. But some residents wanted brick walls or nothing. So with anger and bitterness growing, fueled by the ANC Youth League, residents started ripping apart the hated enclosures. Protests got more violent. Tension escalated. Tires were burnt. Police and riot gear swooped in. Rubber bullets were fired. Makaza burned. Since then, the city of Cape Town has provided enclosed toilets. But if enough money had been available back in 2010, much of the anger and bitterness would have been avoided. A Cape Town engineer told us at today's prices, an enclosed toilet could cost between 7,000 and 11,000 rand. We worked on an average of 9,000 rand. 250 million rand would then buy 27,777 toilets. We rely heavily on our roads. Public transport is inadequate. The poor in South Africa have it the hardest, particularly in rural areas. But many still wait for tarred roads. Back in 2012 in Leboa near Polokwane, a resident, Mr. Molatero, took us to see a problematic stretch of road. It was tarred at a cost of 2 million rand. The tarred surface lasted exactly 3 weeks.
This used to be a tar, but for only 3 weeks. It's unbelievable, so I agree with you. But let me show you, here is the pavement, the edge of the tarred road, to show you that once for 3 weeks, there was what is supposed to be a tarred road. Can you see this? This is the edge of the tar. But the tarred road is gone. Unfortunately, it took the money with it. Who took the money, we don't know. But, you know, millions were involved in this project. This is part of the tarred road, the supposed tarred road. But not what we are left with is only those things, you see. And cars can't go through here. You can see. That's why they're using this, which is not good for the cars as well. Who are suffering, especially when it rains, because school kids have to pass through this. This is the problems we are encountering here.
Those problems would remain with them for another 2 years. 250 million rand could have made a huge difference to that community. A road specialist says it's difficult to estimate exactly how many kilometers of road could be built in a specific province. But we did establish the following. A rural gravel road without drainage costs about 3 million rand per kilometer. So for 250 million, you get about 80 kilometers of road. Urban roads cost a lot more, depending on drainage, the type of surface, or street lighting. The road to Nkandla is tarred and paved with street lights, all at taxpayers' expense. Well, that's it for this week. We always welcome your comments. You can fax us on 011-880-8883 or email us on thirddegree@etv.co.za. And we're also available on Twitter and Facebook. Do join us again next week for more investigative journalism. Goodbye.